always told people to start learning D&D by watching someone else play, and almost always in the same breath, I point them towards Critical Role Campaign 2. And almost always without fail, I get a lot of discourse in the comments, and also just in general saying that Critical Role is not a good thing to point people at because it sets a really high bar. And you're not wrong, it does. But the benefits outweigh the costs here, mostly because the Critical Role Campaign 2 in particular, it's a full story. It starts and it stops and everything is contained within. So you don't have to worry about missing out on lore. It's entertaining because it's got stupidly high production value, it's got proper writers, things like that, and so it's easier for people who are new to the game, who don't know about D&D, to come into it just for the story. And it's actually faithful to the rules, so people who want to passively learn the rules for each of the different classes, for combat, things like that, can do so accurately because they basically don't use homebrew except for like a couple instances, and when they do, they call it out specifically. They also show off an impressive amount of classes in that campaign, so you can see what almost every class does, including Blood Hunter and a couple different types of clerics, so you can start thinking about what you want to play pretty early on into learning the game. And it is a really high bar, but just remind whoever you're talking to that it is like a fucking professional show. Like if a normal game is a high school theater production, Critical Role is like John Wick. It's great to aspire to and to take lessons from like I do on this channel, but you shouldn't necessarily use that as like the end all be all bar for everything. And that reminder is important. I also haven't had a whole lot of experience with other APs. Like the reason I keep going back to Critical Role is because I straight up haven't watched anything else. I haven't had time in the past like 4 years. Give me a break. And since I in good faith can't recommend anything that I haven't seen start to finish, if you guys have any recommendations that are also really good for new players, for onboarding, for following the rules, for learning the classes, drop them in the comments for each other so that we can help find them.